Top 3. Vitamins to stop cramps and that restore leg strength and seniors strengthen your legs. You could eat well, exercise daily, and still lose the ability to walk. That's not an exaggeration. In 2024, researchers found that a silent deficiency, common in people over 60, can shrink your leg strength, slow your steps, and even mimic nerve disease. It has nothing to do with your age or effort, but everything to do with 3 vitamins your body quietly stops absorbing as you get older. In today's video, you'll discover the 3 most important vitamins that help older adults prevent nighttime cramps, reduce nerve pain, and most importantly, restore real strength in their legs. Every insight shared here comes from scientific studies and clinical research. You'll find all the source links listed clearly in the description below, so you can check them yourself or share them with someone you care about. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Each week, we share practical, easy-to-follow guidance that helps older adults feel more stable, more energized, and more independent, step by step, day by day. And now, let's begin with the first vitamin, one that acts like the ignition key for your muscles and bones: vitamin D. Vitamin D plays a crucial role in keeping your muscles strong, especially the muscles in your legs that help you stand up, stay balanced, and walk steadily. To understand how it works, imagine each of your muscle fibers as a small engine. For that engine to run smoothly, it needs clear instructions and clean fuel. Vitamin D provides both. It connects to special receptors inside your skeletal muscles, tiny sensors called vitamin D receptors, or VDRs, that trigger your genes to produce the proteins your muscles need to grow, repair, and stay active. Without enough vitamin D, these receptors remain inactive. Your muscles don't get the message to rebuild. As a result, they weaken slowly and silently. This process also affects calcium, the mineral that muscles rely on to contract and relax. Vitamin D regulates how calcium enters and exits muscle cells. If your body lacks vitamin D, that flow becomes irregular. Your muscles may twitch, feel stiff, or struggle to respond when you need them most, like when you're climbing stairs or trying to catch your balance. And vitamin D isn't just involved in muscle strength. It also plays a role in controlling chronic low-grade inflammation. When levels drop too low, the immune system starts releasing inflammatory chemicals such as IL-6 and TNF-alpha. These chemicals quietly damage muscle tissue over time, making your legs feel sore, tired, or achy, even when you haven't done anything strenuous. Once you understand this mechanism, it becomes clear why researchers have paid so much attention to vitamin D in older adults. A 2020 study by Agarwal and Baines in the Critical Reviews in Food Science and Nutrition emphasized how vitamin D, alongside lysine and calcium, helps maintain healthy muscle and bone mass. They noted that low dietary vitamin D intake, especially in populations with limited sun exposure, can negatively affect body composition and physical function. In 2021, Gurgis and colleagues published a review in Frontiers in Physiology showing that vitamin D directly activates molecular pathways in skeletal muscle. Their findings confirmed that low vitamin D is linked with decreased strength, impaired coordination, and slower recovery after injury, especially in older adults. That same year, Walsh and his team published a detailed review in Nutrients. Their analysis found that vitamin D supplementation improved leg strength, balance, and mobility in seniors. They also explained that vitamin D deficiency is a significant risk factor for sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle that affects 1 in 3 adults over 65. Finally, a study by Endo and colleagues in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Metabolism revealed that supplementing with vitamin D for just 6 months significantly improved walking speed and the ability to stand up from a seated position among older participants. So, how can you safely and effectively get enough vitamin D? First, understand that natural sunlight triggers your skin to produce vitamin D, but after age 60, the skin becomes less efficient at this process. Even if you spend time outdoors, you may not be making enough. That's why dietary sources become essential. Vitamin D3 is the most effective form, and it's found in foods like salmon, egg yolks, beef liver, fortified dairy products, and cod liver oil. However, the amounts in food are often too small to meet daily needs, especially for older adults. Most doctors recommend a daily supplement of vitamin D3. For adults over 60, a typical safe dosage ranges from 800 to 2000 IU per day, depending on individual needs, blood levels, sun exposure, and diet. It's best to take it with a meal that contains fat, such as eggs or avocado, because vitamin D is fat-soluble and absorbs better with food, and because vitamin D works closely with calcium and magnesium. Make sure you're also getting enough of those minerals through your diet or a balanced supplement. Before starting any new supplement, ask your doctor to check your vitamin D level through a simple blood test. The ideal level for older adults is usually between 30 to 50 ng/ml. If your level is lower than that, your doctor may recommend a higher initial dose for a few weeks, followed by a maintenance dose. Taking vitamin D properly isn't just about avoiding deficiency. It's about giving your legs the strength to support you, the stability to protect you, and the energy to keep you walking, strong, steady, and independent. Number 2, magnesium. Magnesium is essential for muscle movement, but most people don't realize that magnesium is not just a muscle relaxant. It's a biological conductor that keeps your muscles and nerves working in harmony. To understand how magnesium works, imagine your muscles as a symphony of electrical and chemical signals. Every time you move, even slightly, calcium enters your muscle cells to start a contraction, and magnesium follows to help them relax. Without enough magnesium, this delicate rhythm breaks. Muscles stay tense longer than they should. They spasm, cramp, or feel sore without warning. You may feel a sudden tight pull in your calf during the night or stiffness in your thighs after climbing stairs. Magnesium is also critical for energy. It activates over 300 enzymes in the body, including one of the most important, ATP synthase. This enzyme produces ATP, the main molecule your muscles use for energy. Without magnesium, ATP synthase slows down, and so does your energy. That's why, when your magnesium runs low, your legs may feel like a phone battery stuck at 5%, still working, but barely. This explains why some older adults can walk to the mailbox, but feel shaky or winded on the way back. But it goes even deeper. Magnesium also regulates ion channels, tiny gates in your muscle, and nerve cells that control how calcium, potassium, and sodium flow. These minerals must move precisely for your muscles to contract and relax smoothly. When magnesium is deficient, those gates get stuck. The nerves misfire, and you might feel tingling, buzzing, or that strange pins and needles sensation in your feet. In older adults, these signs are sometimes mistaken for neuropathy or poor circulation, but in many cases, they are symptoms of a slow, silent magnesium deficiency. And here's something most people don't realize. You don't need to be severely deficient to feel these effects. A mild, chronic magnesium shortfall, known as subclinical deficiency, can still impact muscle performance. This kind of low-level depletion builds up over time, especially in older adults whose absorption rates drop with age, or who take common medications like diuretics, antacids, or proton pump inhibitors that flush magnesium from the body. Scientific studies support these effects. In a 2019 clinical trial by Veronese and colleagues published in Magnesium Research, older adults who took magnesium supplements for 12 weeks showed marked improvements in grip strength and walking speed. Their muscles moved more efficiently, recovered better, and stayed stronger throughout the day. In 2024, review by Castiglioni et al., published in Nutrients, described magnesium as a central regulator of muscle performance, highlighting its role from early muscle formation to contractile power in aging bodies. The researchers emphasized that magnesium supports both the quantity and quality of muscle fibers, helping prevent the slow erosion of strength that many seniors accept as normal aging. Another review by Grigoletto et al., published in Nutrients in 2023, found that magnesium supplementation reduced cramping and improved leg function in seniors with chronic lower limb pain. They concluded that magnesium was a safe, cost-effective, and underused ally in preserving independence in older adults. So how much magnesium do you need, and how can you get it? For older adults, the daily recommended intake is about 320 mg for women and 420 mg for men. But reaching that amount through food alone can be difficult. Foods rich in magnesium include pumpkin seeds, almonds, black beans, spinach, and dark chocolate. Yet, absorption varies. and some people may absorb as little as 30 to 40% of what they eat. That's why supplementation can be helpful, especially if you experience cramps, fatigue, or muscle tightness. But not all supplements are created equal. Magnesium oxide is the most common, but it has poor absorption, only around 4%, and can cause diarrhea. In contrast, magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate are much better absorbed and gentler on the stomach. These forms deliver more usable magnesium to your cells without upsetting digestion. Most older adults start with 200 to 250 milligram per day, taken with food for better absorption. Because magnesium is fat-soluble and works in harmony with calcium and vitamin D, taking it alongside a balanced meal is best. If tolerated well, your doctor may suggest slowly increasing the dose, but don't exceed 400 milligram per day from supplements unless under medical guidance. If you're taking blood pressure medicine, diuretics, or acid reducers, ask your doctor to check your magnesium level through a blood test. Even a mild deficiency can trigger the symptoms we've discussed: tight calves, restless legs, poor sleep, or sudden fatigue. Taking magnesium properly doesn't just soothe sore muscles, it restores calm to your nervous system, strength to your legs, and stamina to your everyday life. Number 3. Vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is your nerve system's guardian. Without it, signals slow down, muscles weaken, and sensation fades, especially in the legs, hands, and feet. To understand why B12 is essential, imagine your nerves as electrical wires. These wires are wrapped in insulation called myelin, which allows messages to travel quickly from your brain to your muscles. Vitamin B12 helps build and repair that myelin. When B12 is lacking, the insulation breaks down, nerves misfire, and that's when problems begin. Not just numbness or weakness, but poor coordination, slower reflexes, and even changes in mood or memory. Vitamin B12 also supports the creation of DNA and helps regulate homocysteine, a molecule that, when elevated, increases the risk of neurodegenerative disease. But even more importantly, B12 plays a critical role in something called methylation, a process that controls how your brain cells function. Think of methylation as a set of molecular switches. These switches turn on the genes that protect your nerves, produce neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, and repair brain tissue. Without B12, the switches falter. You may feel foggy, unusually emotional, or just not quite yourself, and not know why. What makes B12 deficiency so tricky is how quietly it starts. Many seniors don't notice right away. It might begin with tired legs after standing too long, or the odd sensation that one foot feels colder than the other. Some say it feels like they're wearing socks even when barefoot. These symptoms are often brushed off as aging or arthritis, but they are warning signs, your nerves asking for help. And here's the surprising part: you can have a perfectly balanced diet and still be deficient. That's because B12 absorption depends on something called intrinsic factor, a protein made in the stomach. As we age, our stomachs produce less of it. Common medications, like antacids, proton pump inhibitors, and diabetes drugs like metformin, also interfere. Even people who eat meat and dairy daily can be B12 deficient if their gut can't absorb it. Scientific research supports all of this. A 2021 review by Baltrish in Biomed Research International explained how B12, along with B1 and B6, stimulates nerve regeneration, reversing damage and restoring sensation. The study showed that B12 activates Schwann cells, the tiny builders that repair myelin and restore function in damaged nerves. In 2023, Al-Karashi and colleagues published a clinical review showing how B12 deficiency contributes to peripheral neuropathy, especially in older adults. They emphasized that many cases go undiagnosed due to vague symptoms and age-related absorption issues, not diet alone. A 2024 article in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences revealed how B12 deficiency doesn't just affect the body, it changes the brain. Researchers found that B12's role in methylation directly impacts gene activity in brain cells. When B12 is low, brain signals slow down. Memory, coordination, and emotional balance begin to slip. You may feel unsteady not only in your body but also in your mind. So how can you protect yourself? Adults over 60 should aim for at least 2 4 micrograms of vitamin B12 per day. But reaching that target through food alone is hard, especially with reduced stomach acid and aging digestion. Natural sources include beef, liver, sardines, tuna, salmon, eggs, and dairy. Yet, even if you eat well, your body may not absorb it efficiently. That's why supplementation is often necessary. Sublingual B12, which dissolves under the tongue, bypasses the digestive tract entirely. Injections are even more direct. The most effective form is methylcobalamin, which is immediately usable by your body, no conversion required. If you're experiencing symptoms like leg numbness, balance issues, or unexplained fatigue, doctors often start with a high-dose protocol, 1,000 mg daily for several weeks, followed by a maintenance dose. In chronic cases, lifelong supplementation may be needed if you're vegetarian, over 60, or taking stomach-related medications. Talk to your doctor. Even B12 levels in the low normal range can cause symptoms in sensitive people. A simple blood test can reveal the truth, and the solution could be as easy as a daily lozenge. B12 is not just about energy. It's about clarity, stability, and connection. It keeps your nerves firing, your legs moving, and your brain sharp. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us today. We hope this video brought you not only helpful knowledge, but also renewed confidence in your health journey. Every small step you take can bring more strength, clarity, and independence into your life. If you found this video useful, please consider liking and subscribing. Your support truly helps us reach more seniors who may need this information. And if you have any questions or experiences to share, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Wishing you steady legs, sharp thinking, and peaceful sleep. Take care, and see you in the next video.